Welcome to Movie and Recap. Surprised at once by what she saw outside her window, a 10-meter-tall tsunami was barreling toward the city. Then a swarm of crows soared overhead. It was as though the sea had been abruptly drained from the shore. People became aware that something was off. They started to run like crazy. A girl unintentionally fell. Nobody got her up. A massive disaster would require everyone to take care of everyone else. Her father was the only one who could overcome the challenges and save her. Approached the girl and firmly enswathed her in his body. The tsunami was ready to barrel into the father and daughter when they realized what was going on. Running any farther would be pointless. The sea surged swiftly into the city. High-rise structures were demolished right away. The formerly affluent metropolis quickly turned into a sea of water. Folks scattered like ants. When it came to the tsunami, they were helpless. Running frantically to his daughter's room was the father of the girl staying at the hotel. Luckily, the floor his daughter occupied was not immediately cleaned. However, the room's window had been washed out. The daughter was about to be carried off. Right before the end, her father grabbed his daughter. Gazing down 10,000 feet and beyond, the dad's heart was racing. The mother of the little girl was now in a far worse situation. The water level kept rising and she remained trapped in the elevator. She was aware that she would die. Making a last-minute call to her daughter, but before to her finishing, she was completely immersed in the water. However, during her final hours of life, a mechanic discovered here after removing his carry-on gadget, he unlocked the lift. The woman nearly passed away. On the roof, the family was at last reunited. At that point, the rescue chopper showed up. However, due to the restricted weight only able to release a youngster or an old person first, the parents made every effort to board the aircraft with their daughter. The kindly elderly man concurred. Look after the girl on their behalf. The tsunami's second wave then arrived. To meet death, the two gave each other a strong hug. As a matter of fact, though, the tsunami may have been averted beforehand. The dad of the girl works as a geologist. Merely a few hours prior, he observed irregularities in the seafloor monitoring data. Shortly after learning about a powerful earthquake in Japan, he felt horrible about it and informed his superiors right away, requesting that the siren be activated and that people leave right away, but his boss did not seem to mind. Ultimately, there was insufficient evidence to confirm that a tsunami would occur. Furthermore, there was merely a national cultural exhibition. Millions of individuals and prominent leaders should be evacuated if they follow the advice of the experts. If the verdict was incorrect, would not it make a laughingstock out of the whole world? However, he was unaware that calamity would actually strike. Having gone through 2 tsunamis, numerous cities have been devastated, and there have been fatalities and injuries. The sea has also carried away the persons who were atop the bridge. It was a miracle this man lived. He looked for his family everywhere. However, when he looked up, a massive ship was just in front of him. However, the ship's weight was too much for the bridge to support. The steel cable snapped. Death must have taken care of him and kept him away from all the containers. That massive wheel above was going to shatter. The woman was quickly knocked away by the wire rope, but he was uninjured. What luck he had! He was going to hold in the surprise by lighting a cigarette. However, the fire nearly scorched his eyebrows. Terrified, he immediately threw the lighter. Who realized that it would land directly on the fuel. His eyes met it. The cigarette abruptly dropped from his mouth. All he could do was run for it. The fire started up fast. At the speed of a sprint of 100 meters, he ran away. Then initiate a series of detonations. The massive ship's containers were destroyed by explosion. Fastened right up against the tall structure, that is when the tsunami struck once more. Frantically, the folks on the street raced away. However, the sea quickly engulfed them. A few of the survivors clambered higher. Believing they could avoid the catastrophe, the power cables toppled into the river in the following second. As soon as people were electrocuted, the water transformed into hell. These two had more luck. Before the power line broke, they scaled the pole. The male attempted to drag the woman up to a more secure location, but was struck by the unintentional glass fall. The woman made a valiant attempt to drag him, but the water moved too quickly. The man's strength quickly diminished. He did not want to go into the ocean with his girlfriend. And so he chose to let go. He was immediately carried away by the seawater. Believed he would undoubtedly die, who knew he would be grabbed by the man on the pole? However, the man was knocked into the waters by a floating box. The tsunami continued to rage. Rescue crews were now combing the sea for survivors. It was unexpected to see 2 persons. A woman and a man at sea pleading for assistance. The lifeguards immediately dive into the sea. The woman and guy had already battled, and they were now battling over who would be saved first. Upon the lifeguards' arrival, they discovered in reality, the woman was his girlfriend. Yet right now I am at a loss for ideas. It is critical to prioritize saving lives. He fastened his sweetheart to the rope. Order co-workers to pull her toward the helicopter. Afterward, he fastened the victim to the rope. However, the man had a fear of heights. Abruptly started to fight furiously. He then plummeted back into the ocean. This is when the waves and wind picked up more strength. Hesitant to save the man, the lifeguard, his girlfriend and co-workers pushed him to speak up. Ignore that idiot. Finally, though, the lifeguard made the decision to dive into the ocean. He fastened the victim to the rope once more. Suddenly, though, the elevator broke down. And the rope started to come loose. It could no longer support the weight of 2 large men. If anyone could be saved, the lifeguard inquired with his partner. Following receipt of a resounding response from his associate with a utility knife, the lifeguard decisively cut the rope. After a few hours, the sea was once more tranquil. Leaving the devastated city behind, survivability was low. Information regarding the victims' specifics was not disclosed by the government. According to civilian statistics, at least 700,000 people perished. The administration has never taken a harsh stance. Because they are aware that their negligence is what caused over 700,000 deaths. In the face of calamity, people are so little. Therefore, we can never be sure which will happen first, the accident or tomorrow. Our only option is to make the most of every day. Thank you for watching Movie and Recap. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and give us a like.